the president said, hey, we're going to have this extremist summit. So Zero Hedge has gone and they've looked for government documents on what is an extremist. What have you deemed as an extremist? And they've come up now with the definition, a list of 72 types of Americans that the government considers extremist, and a link to those documents. So here
because there's a variety of groups who deal in violent extremism.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't
even
aware
of that down to any one group.
I wasn't aware of the broccoli extremist you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, here they are. It gets that crazy.
Group.
Here they are. Those who talk about individual liberties. Those who advocate for state rights.
Right. Those who talk about individual liberties.
Yeah. Those who advocate for states' rights. Those who, quote, want to make the world a better place. The colonialists who sought to free themselves from British rule. Those who are interested in, quote, defeating communists, end quote. Those that believe the interest of one's own nation are separate from the interest of other nations or the common interest of all nations. Anyone that holds, quote, a political ideology that considers the state unnecessary, harmful, or undesirable. Anyone that possesses, quote, an intolerance toward other religions, end quote. Those that, quote, take actions to fight against the exploitation of the environment and or animals, end quote.
This can't be right. This can't be right.
The links are all there. I've seen some of these. I know some. I haven't done all of them 72, but I've seen some of these. I know. We've read them before. I know that we have read To Make the World a Better Place. I remember reading that.
Right.
You remember that
was
one?
Missouri or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah. These are all. So these are all the state coming down in different rulings and different things and saying, hey, you got to watch for these guys. Those who are anti-gay, anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, the Patriot Movement, opposition to equal rights for gays and lesbians, members of the Family Research Council, members of the American Family Association, those that believe Mexico, Canada, and the United States are secretly planning to merge into a European Union-like entity that would be known as the North American Union, members of the American Border Patrol, American Patrol, members of the Federation for American Immigrant Reform, members of the Tennessee Freedom Coalition, members of the Christian Action Network, anyone who is opposed to the New World Order, anyone who's engaged in conspiracy theorizing, anyone opposed to Agenda 21, anyone that is concerned about...
It can't be right. Come on. This can't be right.
This is like everyone.
Yeah, this is like everything we ever discuss on the radio. It's just like, come on, that can't be right. Can it?
If there's any specific ones you can you want, there are links to each one of these.
Yeah. It's a list of 72 types of Americans that are considered to be extremists and potential threats in official U.S. government documents. This list will give you a good idea of what he means when he uses the word extremist. Each of these 72 items is linked. So if you'd like to see the original source document for yourself, click on the link. As you can see, this list potentially includes most of the country.
This a lot of this is coming from this story, which is an email written by an active duty battalion commander to his subordinates regarding U.S. hate groups. This is where you're kind of getting into.
So it's not official U.S. policy that all these.
No, it's all documents. It's all like the things from Missouri, where the guys in Missouri, the state.
It's just anybody in any news story that's been linked to extremism. Sort of.
No. It is somebody in the government saying this is a problem. Anybody in the government, in a government document, saying we've got to watch for these people.
Like those opposed to the collection of federal income tax?
Yeah.
So
that's in there.
Virtually every American?
The sovereign citizen, the militia movement, those who think they don't have to pay taxes, those who complain about bias, those who are frustrated with mainstream ideologies, those who visit extremist website and blogs, establish website and blog to display extremist views, attends rallies for extremist causes, exhibits extreme religious intolerance, is personally connected with a grievance, suddenly acquires weapons, organized protests inspired by an extremist lobby. I'm only on 43. Those who refer to an army of God, those who are fiercely nationalistic, those who are anti-global, suspicious of centralized federal authority, reverent of individual liberty, believe in conspiracy theories, have a belief that one's person and or national way of life is under attack, impose strict religious tenets or laws on society, insert religion into the political sphere, seek to politicize religion.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi, right? I mean, she's an extremist by that definition.
Anyone who's anti-abortion, anti-Catholic, anti-nuclear, right-wing extremist, returning veterans, those concerned about illegal immigration, those who believe in the right to bear arms, those engaged in ammunition stockpiling, those who fear the communist regimes, anti-abortion activists, those who are against illegal immigration, those who talk about the New World Order in a derogatory manner, those who have a negative view of the...
Those who discuss the New World Order in a derogatory manner.
Those who oppose the collection of federal income taxes. Those
if you're opposed to illegal immigration, you should be in favor of it? Yeah, I love it when people come into my house illegally. I love that.
Those who display the Don't Tread on Me flag. Those who believe in end times prophecies. Evangelical Christians.
Round us all up. Put us all away.
Not only are we all Charlie, we're all extremists.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, here's the thing. This is what Hitler did. You just put everybody into a category. The secret is everybody's in a category. And then you just pick the levers and which ones, because you're run by sociologists. This is Dugan. You're run by a sociologist. How do I get people to comply? Well, if I pull the trigger on this one, and this one, that whole section there will comply. That's what it is. And we've talked about this from the very beginning. This is what fascistic regimes do. They make everybody a criminal. You're a criminal. You know, I was watching an old Mission Impossible the other day, and it was from the old Cold War, the old TV show Mission Impossible. And it was from the old Cold War, and the guy was standing there, and he bribed somebody. And he said, I almost forgot, in this country, there's one thing that always makes people look the other way. And I never understood that. Why would so many people take bribes? Why would they do it? Because you take bribes because everybody is guilty of something. You don't actually believe in anything. You don't believe that person really did anything wrong. You don't really care. When we used to have laws that you'd really care about because they were reasonable, you did care. You would call the police. But now when everybody is wrong and you don't really care because nobody stands for anything anyway, if I can get rich off of you and let you go, why not? That's what happens. And that's where we're headed. Everybody is going to be doing something wrong. You've done something wrong. That's why we say you cannot collect information on us. You cannot, as the United States government, collect the information on our phone calls and everything else, because I can guarantee you, if I have access to everything in your life, I can guarantee you, I can make you into somebody horrible. Look what they've done to you. You like people. You love people. You're charitable. You want to help. You're not against the president because he's black. You're just as against the Republicans, maybe more so than the Democrats. But look what they did. They cherry picked. They took just the information they wanted that made you look a certain way. Why do you think that they could do that on a group, but they wouldn't do that on an individual? As I was watching Selma, and LBJ okayed the blackmail with the FBI. The FBI said, we can take care of him. Meaning, we can kill him, make him go away. And LBJ said, no. Well, there are other pressures we can use to make him go away. We can break his family up. We can do a lot of things. And they sent an audio tape of all these people saying horrible things, and then an audio tape of him apparently having an affair. And in it, he said, that's not me. And his wife looks at him and she says, I know what you sound like. So I know that's not you. And I looked at my wife and I said, afterwards, we were leaving, I said, with the technology that they have now and the ability to have the audio of everything, you can do this to people. You could smear them. You won't believe your eyes. You'll say, that's not me in that picture. I didn't do that. That's not me in that audio tape. Yes, it is. Okay, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist, everybody's against you. They can make you look like anything, should they choose to. Thank God, so far, nobody's choosing to do that. But we live in a different world. We live in a different world. And that's why it's imperative that you have small government. Because you don't want a religious extremist. You don't want an atheist extremist. You don't want a Muslim extremist, a Christian extremist. You don't want a left extremist, a right extremist. You want the Constitution to remain supreme because that is the closest thing we have to guaranteeing that all men are created equal and have an equal shot at everything. Because nobody's ever going to be able to distribute it fairly. Ever. Give me an equal shot. That's what Martin Luther King wanted.